Hello everyone, I'm And More Bus Videos, quite an odd introduction. I am And More Central, and welcome to the first in the new series on the sort of transferred series of OMSI 2, the bus simulator. I'll probably in this video do a little bit more explaining. As you can see, I'm still getting used to the transfer myself. I'll explain why we've done the transfer, why it's on this channel, what you can expect, and hopefully why it's beneficial to you all. So I hope that you all enjoy this video, and for those of you that have sort of like this series and have previously watched it on Ambar Central, hello to you all. It's nice to have you over here, and I will explain as to why it's moved over here as we make a move. I'll probably still introduce myself as Ambar Central and working on the Bus Videos channel. That's probably going to be the better introduction because I took myself by surprise there when I was like, oh yeah, that's the one I'm doing this time. So yes. Anyway, that lovely introduction out of the way, and you join me at Brixton on London. It has been a while since we've been on London, and I was looking through some of the repaints and things that have been released, and with the FIFA World Cup currently taking place, and us quite recently having some quite exciting and interesting matches going on. I mean, by the time this video's uploaded, we will have had another match, and the match that we've just had was between Wales and England. We did very well in that in England. For those of you in Wales, hello, and yes, apologies or my condolences to you. But there's another match happening basically between this video being uploaded and me filming it. So hopefully we do just as well, and I can turn around and go, well done to England, rather than, oh dear. Well, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's not get into the politics. The repaint is on the FIFA World Cup. It's quite accurate for now. And the vehicle is BD65EVY. That is, I think, VH or WVH 89. Let me just have a look. Yep, WHV. I was close. WHV 89. And we're driving it on the 432 service to Annerley, a route that when I did the research into the bus to make sure it carries this repaint, it has done the 432 before. So I don't think it's done it in this repaint yet, in sort of this advert, but it has done the route, so that's good enough for me. So let's get the bus started. Build up the air. There we go. It has been a while since I've driven on London, so just bear that in mind as we go forward. There might be some stuff I have forgotten. It shouldn't be kicking off again. Why are you kicking off again? No, I've just missed it. There we go. Sort that out in a minute. Let's press OK. Driver IDs. 2, 1. Pin is 3922. There we go. And the garage ID is, we'll just put 3. There we go. 33. Yep, and then on board now. Yes, I've checked. Operator number 6. 5. Duty number. Just put some random numbers in. There we go. Route is 432. And the trip is presumably something like 50, because ETM sign on OK. There we go, that's sorted, and hopefully our blinds have changed. Yes, they are. So we're all ready to serve the people of London. The route approximately takes about 40 minutes. You will know how long it's actually taken. Oh, come on. Don't lag on me. You'll know how long it's taken by how long this video is. I don't know that yet, so we'll find out. I have missed driving this B5LH. I remember driving it when they first released the London update, and it was an absolute rocket. So I'm quite excited. I'm also quite excited when that bus in front of us loads up. London is quite a intense map. I feel like I shouldn't even need to say that at this point. London is quite an intense map on memory and space, and although I am running it on a very good PC rig, or laptop rig, gaming rig, whatever you want to call it, this still, especially started in Brixton, this still turns around to me and goes, "What have you done? Why have you done this? Why have you loaded this?" And no matter how many patches and things you put on it, it still lags. So it's bound to happen, as it is a very intense map. Now, one of those lights, okay, those lights changed separately, fair dues. There we go, and then I will be glad when we're out of Brixton. I promise you, when we're out of Brixton on the map, the lag will reduce, the frame rate will improve, as it always does.
to Annerley Station.
Why you've got your right indicator on? What are we doing?
Brixton Station. Alight here for National Rail and local bus services.
Oh, that's why. There we go, we don't have a bus lane. It has been a while since I've driven on this map, I don't know if you can tell. So yes, although I will have explained it in the previous video, I'm recording these in a weird fashion at the moment, although I will have explained it in the previous OMSI 2 video on the Andmore Central channel, again, do go and check out that video. The entire OMSI 2 series, simulation series, videos are going to remain upon the channel. They're not just going to disappear one day, never to be seen again. As someone that has watched YouTubers who have done that, it's not something I intend to do, because I understand that for quite a few of you, looking back in the archives, when you've seen all the updated videos and you got a day or two off, or you're ill or something, and you've got to do something to kill a bit of time, I fully understand going through the archives on the channel. So I'll never be one of these that get shuttered videos. I'm going to squeeze through there because I can, and that's a person. That's the person crossing when the lights were on green. So someone had a death wish. But I didn't hit him, so all was good. Welcome to London. There we go, the lag is... I was about to say the lag is beginning to reduce, but clearly... 432, okay, we are in the correct lane.
432 to Annerley Station.
So what has happened since we've set off on this maiden voyage of a run on this channel? Basically, we've ended up nearly crashing into a taxi because the wheel wasn't, the steering wasn't responding. I'm nearly running someone down that crossed over when the lights were on green for us. So yes, it's going well, and welcome to London. But yes, just to make it very clear that the OMSI 2 and simulation videos from the past on the Andmore Central channel will be staying up. It's just a matter of there won't be any more uploaded. You'll find all of the simulation section stuff here. And you're probably wondering, well, why Andmore, whatever you want to refer to me as on this channel, why have you done that? Why have you done it in that way? And in all honesty, it's part of a restructuring on the channel that is very much down.
St Matthew's Church.
Very much down to the numbers to the numbers of people watching stuff at the moment, and what we're watching, and what content I'm filming on what channel. Now, I'm More Central is the channel where it's sort of the one that has the biggest growth. So, what the earth is that doing? So, it has the biggest sort of growth on the channels. That's just it. That's just a given with that.
432 Annerley Station.
So that's just a given with that. And the Bus Videos channel has always been the channel that I've sort of put
St
the
Matthew's
extra
Estate.
stuff on. So sort of the extra bus clips and things like that. It's sort of been the secondary channel for those of you that just like watching the basic bus videos. The basic, easy for me to film, easy for me to upload stuff. Because the More Central videos and things on the series, they do take quite a lot of time to plan, to film, edit up, and all of that, render, upload, etc, etc. And this channel's very much just, I don't like to use this phrase, but more just like the
432
video channel. So
Annerley
basically
Station.
where they're all good content, all good videos, but it's just stuff
Morville
that
Road.
I film along the way, and because I film it along the way, it doesn't necessarily have an upload slot on the channel. So it's like a lot of the backseat content. For those of you that have watched this channel for a while, or you look in the archives I hope are quite clear, with all of the different operator playlists. You'll see that some of the content on this channel it would have been worthy of the backseat sections on More Central, until, because obviously that's moving over here as well at the end of this year.
Annerley Station.
And you probably look and go,
Brixton
well, a lot of that was
Water
worthy of upload on here, on the other channel, More Central. However, the reason it didn't get uploaded onto there is that physically there's no slots, because I have Talking Buses, it's coming back in the new year. We've got a few, I think 1 or 2 very new, we've definitely got 1, potentially 2 very brand new exciting series, along with all of my real life reviews, adventure by bus segments, operation overviews, operator reviews, interviews, stuff like that. Because we've got all of that that's in heavy planning and things, videos like sort of the OMSI 2 and the backseat stuff, it sort of tends to get pushed a little bit more, because I don't quite sort of, it's very random when you record it. It's like when we had the Renown release recently, I put all the other content down. There we go. Super. I put all the other sort of content aside and filmed a load on the Studio Polygon and Renown. And I could do it at the time, but let's say there was other stuff happening in the bus industry, like the exciting stuff in West Yorkshire at the moment. Yes, there's lots of videos coming your way on More Central on that. It would have meant that I'd have been very at a premium to be able to actually record that. However, on a channel like this, stuff can be pushed to a side, and there's enough slots and things to just record those extra videos for those interested. So I can record the extra videos, I can slot them in between, and there's no sort of restriction of going, hang on a sec, I've been editing up this video and rendering it for the past 2 weeks, and it's finally done and it needs to go out, but sort of juggling content and things like that, if that makes sense. So it was just the easy way to do it, so that basically the videos on this channel are probably going to be the ones that
432 Annerley Station.
These videos on this channel are like just more your kind of basic me being like, oh, I've got a spare few hours, let's record some OMSI, let's drive some on simulator and have a natter. Or it's like when I go out on a trip, or I go somewhere, even if I'm just doing like a local trek out or something, go on a few decent buses, that isn't worthy of recording an entire sort of review around, or an adventure video around, and those videos go up on this channel as well. So as I say, there's about 21, at the moment there's about 21 backseat videos per week, and the plan is for the OMSI 2 videos to fall into a slot once a week on a Thursday, to sort of fit in between. So these will be released every Thursday, travelling about on sort of different routes, different maps, different buses. And because they're hopefully going to be released once a week, I'll also be able to talk about what's happened in the industry. So as well as having Talking Buses and stuff like that to tell you about the industry, this is more like when you've got that probably the sort of best example is Britain's Got Talent, and then you get the Britain's Got More Talent afterwards, where it's like half an hour to an hour show afterwards, where they've had the main show, like Talking Bus have had the main news headlines, and this show is just like debunking what we've talked about and sort of having a bit more of a discussion
432
about it.
Annerley Station.
So yeah, that's probably the best. It's not the most ideal, but probably the best analogy I can think of at the moment to describe what I mean.
Upper Tulse Hill.
So it also just means as well that when stuff's happening in the real world, like exciting like service changes or review stuff, it also means that the OMSI 2 videos won't get pushed aside anymore. It means they will have a regular slot. So there's never a worry of these being pushed aside anymore. And it also means that I get, there we go, I get at least once a week, an hour a week now, to sit down in front of the computer, put all my work aside and go, let's do some driving. I do like driving in London. I love driving this map because having been to London and been on the buses there, you drive like they do. Like it's very, very. When they say London's fast paced, you sort of think to yourself, you're like, well, yeah, it's probably just like another city, like Leeds and Manchester, where there's business people that are fast paced, and that's about it, and a few like commuter trains and things like that. But when you go to London and you sit on the buses,
432 Annerley Station.
and they floor the absolute life out of the vehicles, you then kind of understand the context. Because it's like when this map first got released, I looked at it, I was like, those timetables are just impossible.
High trees.
Absolutely impossible. And the cars, sort of like the AI pathing's mental and all of that lot. But when you actually go to London and see it, you then kind of understand, you kind of get it. Kind of get it and go, yes, that's why they're like that.
Four three two Annerley Station.
Oh, they're still open. Oh no, they've jammed. Okay. There we go, they jammed because I took the handbrake off a bit too soon. Oops.
432 Annerley Station.
Would be quite nice to have more of these style hybrids up in the north. I mean, we've got the Evo setties that arrived from Go Ahead London. Got them in Manchester, and my goodness me, they fly to those things. A lot faster than the previous B5s, like the older Gemini 2s. They have them in Leeds, they have them with now Go North West, used to be first in Manchester, and Arriva Yorkshire have some. And you definitely notice when you go on one of the Evo setting ones, or you go on one in London, you notice a stark change in how they accelerate. Oh, they're right across, okay. Because it's just like when you're driving this, for example, it just absolutely flies. But if you go on sort of a 40-50 mile an hour road, it'll probably max out about 45 will this. However, for somewhere like London or other very, very urbanised cities, this bus would be perfect because, as you can see, it accelerates off the mark so quickly. Permitted, you know which lane you're supposed to be in. It's all brilliant. Yep. There we go. Sometimes if you forget where you're going or you get confused by the route arrows, you just have to check the bridge and go, this is definitely the right route, isn't it? Definitely fit under this bridge. You watch, this is the
432
bit where I
to
catch up to
Annerley
the
Station.
to the bus in front because I'm driving that quick. I've never actually done that in this. I've done that in a few other maps. I've never done it on this map because this map is incredibly quick. Like very, very quick pace, fast paced. Freeway traffic control. Well, we're doing well till this point. Yeah, we're actually 2.5 minutes early. Yes. So yeah, I think we've definitely worthwhile for these traffic lights. Yes, let's have a look at the sort of livery. Well, we've got the time. I think it's quite nice. It's quite basic compared to other sort of sporting related promos recently. This one is quite basic. And one of the things that bugs me as per these is sometimes where I don't think it was necessarily done with this, but sometimes advertising companies, like the biggest one was the Crack and Drink, the rum one, as you will remember a few years ago. I think there's a few buses that done it on this year, but the advert's more basic and more general. Now, what they did a few years ago was they designed the livery, sort of the advertisement livery sort of branding. That's the word, branding on the side and the back. They advertised it, and what they did is they did it in an array of liveries for the operators that were going to use the advertising. So they did it a first Olympia style one, they did an Arriva Max style one. I think they might have even done a stagecoach one. And they did them, and obviously the adverts sort of like the crack and wrapping around the bus kind of thing. But what they didn't kind of grasp was two things. One, when the branding and the vinyl's done, it will be a slightly different shade to the tanned livery, because at that time you've got to bear in mind that the livery will be tanned. It will be sort of wear and tear of it, the muck, the dirt, the grime, exposure to the sun, all of that kind of
Lancaster
thing. So the
Avenue.
shading was different on it, because they weren't going to repaint these buses freshly. We literally 2 cars got through that. They weren't going to do it sort of freshly painted, just for an advert that was going to be on about a month or two. And then the second thing they didn't kind of grasp was that the advertising company had a bit less of a grasp as to what each operator's livery were. And it worked out alright for some. The Arriva ones were pretty much all correct. They did very, very well with the Arriva ones. All of the Max Spec ones got the Max Spec vinyl, and if it wasn't a Max Spec bus, it didn't get the Kraken advert on it. However, First in West Yorkshire weren't as good as that. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, there were two. There were a couple that actually ended up in Olympia. A few B9s that were in Olympia that got Olympia branding. And then I think there was at least 2 in Leeds that were in Olympia livery, but got the Arriva Max vinyl on the side. That was not the most ideal for customers who, when you see the bus from sideways, think it's your Arriva bus home. And then you look around, you're like, hang on, it's a first bus pretending to be Arriva. So although the advertising company obviously didn't think that far ahead of it, they just looked and thought, oh, advert, money, boom, let's go, let's make the design good so it fits in. They didn't sort of obviously consider that probably a general one was going to be a bit easier, so that it didn't cause confusion, or obviously for the operators, and they didn't just slap a random advert on the advertising companies onto a bus without really thinking. So now though, the latest crack on advertising, it's on a B9 that recently transferred from Leeds to Huddersfield. The branding is now general. That, I mean, is a shame when you sort of look at the bigger picture, because it was quite nice to have the sort of individual branding. It's easier from a financial and practical perspective, because now it basically just means that there's not going to be any issues. Not going to be any issues with the advertising anymore. There is a lot of bus stops out of use on this route. Well, this will just piss people off. So I wanted to get off bus. Oh no, they're not. Is it not actually? No, there isn't. Okay, no, okay, I'm not. It's not peeving anybody off. Nobody wants to get off the bus. Must be doing something right. All the bells are broken. It's probably the bells.
Norwood Road, Robson Road.
Thank you. Thank you, iBus. See, I'll probably go come back to this map in the next few weeks with the intention of trying to tick off more of the routes. I tend to sort of drive the same ones. I mean, I have driven the 432 before. It is one of my personal favourites. However, the reason I'm driving it in this...
to Annerley Station.
The reason I'm driving it in this video is because this bus has actually done the 432, and one of these I am a bit of a realist when it comes to these kind of things. Why does it say we go straight forward when there isn't enough lane?
West Norwood Station.
Why are you stopped? The light's on green. Why have you stopped? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'll probably return to this map and try and tick off a few of the other routes. Now it's just sort of there's not as many releases going on in the immediate future. I'll probably try and tick off some more of the routes, because there's quite a few nice advertising liveries out there for the London buses, because London buses do started to tend to carry overall advertising now. No one's getting off. Why did I open those doors if no one's getting off? It just wastes time.
to Annerley Station. Ernest Avenue.
I overshot that a little bit, gonna be honest. I overshot that ever so slightly. And obviously needed to give people enough gap to walk around the shelter, or alternatively, walk through the shelter. It's entirely at their discretion.
to Annerley Station. Gypsy Road.
We must be actually bang on time. If the next one is 10 minutes... Yeah, we are. We're bang on time. That's good. Say that we got stuck in temporary traffic lights because there was an issue in front and only two vehicles got through. We're doing quite well through. Quite well through.
432 to Annerley Station. Islewood Road.
We've also done the N2. I remember going down here and doing the N2 night bus. I think that was the first route I did in this vehicle when they launched the London spec. Did an entire trip on the night bus. It was quite nice. Although at that time I didn't have the branding pack installed.
432 to Annerley
Oh,
Station.
it is unrealistic weather. I should probably point that out. No, your screen,
Norwood
your
Park.
phone, mobile device, or laptop has not just had a bit of a meltdown. The weather has genuinely just changed like that because I am on realistic weather for London at the moment. However, I am quite certain that London's weather did not just change like that at the click of a finger. I'm quite certain that they were slightly more progressive than the change we've just seen.
Four three two to Annerley Station. Salters Hill.
I also just love how responsive on the steering this bus is. You can actually just harshly turn it round corners and it actually responds. Or alternatively, totally miss traffic lights because they blend in with the hill climb and then have the ability to demonstrate the brakes. I am not funding your enthusiasm for boarding the bus in the bus shelter. Sorry, that's just not something I'm doing. This possibly has to be, at this point, one of my all-time favourite buses to drive on this map. It has to be, because it
Annerley Station.
it just responds so well to sort of the acceleration, the needs of the road, the bus stops. It's really nice to drive. Really nice to drive. Like the steering's spot on, the acceleration off the mark is amazing. Really good for sort of urban and suburban roads as this one. I mean, we have driven the Evo Settee, the one that... There we go. Handbrake wasn't on and it was holding itself in place. We have driven the Evo Settee on Great Grundorf, we drove it on the airport route, and safe to say that was a pretty dire run. Unfortunately, compared to this, the Evo Settee that comes with London, it's a B5LH like this.
Annerley Station.
It's always had issues with its gearbox. You're always sort of fighting for gearing.
Road.
It's not as fast, not as probably as good as this. I mean, I do like driving the new bus for London. That's very nice to drive on this map. But I tend not to drive the Evo Settee because it does tend to have a couple of issues with gearbox, and it'll rev like no tomorrow. This just seems to get on with it. Like, it just sorts the gears out itself. Yes, it's possibly a bit more realism where you're supposed to dab the accelerator to go through the gears. But because that's been attempted with the Evo Settee, that's why it tends to provide a bit of an issue. Because then if your game's lagging or you miss it slightly, it heavily punishes you for it. Probably slow down slightly, judging by the fact it's a 20. Surprised you're not telling me from later. Oh my goodness, I am 3.6 minutes early. Wester Hill, let's have a little look. My
432 to Annaley
We're nearly
Station.
there, so we'll keep going. I usually it'd wait a couple of minutes, but we'll keep going because we're nearly there. And I can't imagine everybody wants to sit around for 3.6 minutes, because even if we don't wait around, I can guarantee that with how long it takes for the game to shift all the AI buses to where they need to be 3 minutes ahead of time, we'll have still waited 3 minutes anyway. So sometimes it's just easier in this game when you're filming to keep driving. Or alternatively, the third one is we can wait at the traffic lights for 3.6 minutes. And the time doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, look, we're catching up our time now. I do need to make another trip back to London. I was going to make a trip down to say farewell to the Arriva London Heritage Division because they're closing and they're running a route master. By the time this video's out, it'll have already happened. But they're running a route master, run it pretty much this time last week. I think it was Friday the 2nd of December was the planned date
Crystal
on the
Palace
137.
Park. Alight here for local bus services towards Herne Hill, Lewisham, Norwood Junction, Sydenham or West Dulwich from Crystal Palace Bus Station.
So I know that it's basically using a Heritage Route Master on the 137 service. So I was going to head down for it, but unfortunately practicalities have limited my availability on that day. And so what we're going as far as field,
to
unfortunately.
Annaley Station.
In fact, I do want to drive one of those Tridents again on here. That's probably going for my next video in London. I'll drive it. It won't be that exciting, but I'll drive a Trident because I do absolutely. On the London spec Tridents
Crystal Palace
as well,
Station.
the Trident 2.
Alight here for
400s.
Crystal Palace National Sports Centre and Athletics Stadium.
Like those Trident 2s on the London spec will sound absolutely phenomenal. They're a lot nicer, a lot more lively on the sounds than the regional one is, and that must be said.
(432) to Annaley Station.
Oh, that's not my mirror. There we go.
Hamlet Road.
Oh, there's still more people.
(432) to Annaley Station.
So it's also become apparent in recent news that London are looking for a new ticket machine provider, Transport for London, for their entire sort of operation. That is going to be one of the biggest ticket machine contracts up for grabs in the UK, proving pretty much the biggest, I would imagine, in sort of a specific region. So it's very exciting for ticket machine providers. I can see a company like Ticketer being a favourite for it. However, it wouldn't surprise me, knowing Transport for London, if they went with an underdog. The logical one would be to go for Ticketer, because
Annerley
Ticketer
Station.
are the latest rising upcoming ticket machine provider with the latest technology, all of that lot. I'm not sponsored by them, I just think the brand's good. And it would make a bit more sense if Transport for London went with Ticketer, just
Annerley
looking at
Road,
how many
Annerley
operators
Station.
have gone with Ticketer in recent times and how well they're doing as customers. Because unfortunately nowadays there's not that many of the ticket machine providers available on the market. It seems that like Wayfarer have kind of taken a back seat and vanished. Transmat, they've got machines, but they aren't that popular at the moment due to quite a few common faults that are sort of arising with the machines and devices. And then it just seems like the other sort of companies that were once quite prominent have all also disappeared from the sort of market. So it is going the way that Ticketer are going to run the ticket machine monopoly, if not already running it in the UK,
432
unless a
Annerley
new provider
Station.
appears. You never quite know in the bus market and other related industries. You never know another company might appear. I mean, a prime example was that in the actual bus side was Yutong, who a few years ago, if you would have said that Yutong would be providing pretty much what's looking to be at the moment the majority of the electric buses in the UK, we'd have laughed and scoffed and thought, no, it'd be someone like ADL, it'd be Volvo, right bus, Scania even. Yeah, you look at it now, and Yutongs are appearing all over the place. I mean, Newport, Cardiff, Leeds, just to name a few. I mean, Scotland Stagecoach have just got some. McGill's have got a large number of them on their fleet as well now, and are hoping to add more. It just shows how unpredictable the bus industry can be, sort of with product providers. So you never know. For now, it might be Ticketer that are at the top of the ticket machines. They might get the contract for London. However, you never know. Another underdog out of nowhere may also get the contract. We'll have to see what happens. But with that contract as well, they're looking into upgrading the Oyster system to pretty much, I presume, getting new cards for it. So again, quite an exciting thing to look forward to seeing what will happen. So there we go. Let's park in the bus now. AI buses on there. However, there's no AI buses here, so we're going to go straight into this stand because it's easier. Oh, we didn't do too bad for time. I think we got in about 3 minutes early overall. So there we go. So that was the 432. I right enjoyed driving that, and you forget how nice the route is until you get the chance to drive it. If you have enjoyed this video, do be sure to click that like button on the channel and subscribe to support the growth of and more bus videos, so to support the growth of this series on the channel, so I can continue filming them, because it's quite nice for this sort of the OMSI 2 series to once again have a regular weekly slot on a channel of mine. So yes, do expect to see these videos up every Thursday, and be sure as well to share these videos, like this one for example, and the other OMSI 2 videos I record for this channel with your friends, so that they don't miss out on watching them and they can sort of find them entertaining, find them fun, and also subscribe and like the videos to support the growth of the series on the channel and support the growth of the channel generally. I do really hope you've enjoyed it. Do send in your suggestions in the comments feed. I have now started to open the comments feed on this channel, so we'll be responding to more comments on that over the next few weeks. And so do get involved in the comment section below for any route, map or bus suggestions, because when I get to my once a week and I get an hour or so off to do some film and travel a little drive on the bus simulator, I'll be looking through those suggestions, and whichever suggestion I look at and go, ooh, I quite fancy that, will most likely be the bus route repaint or map that I drive that week. Once again, I would like to thank you all for watching. Thank you for understanding the transfer of the OMSI 2 series, and hopefully now it's on here, it will have a weekly exclusive weekly upload slot on this channel. Thank you all for watching. Please keep supporting this series. Share it with all your friends so that they can rediscover it and enjoy it too. And I will see you all in the next OMSI 2 video I make. Goodbye for now. Bye.